What's up everybody, welcome back to TricycleTV channel. This is Eric, and today as you can see we have two devices right here on the table for review. So this episode is very special because Omelet Gaming like sponsoring this episode. So they're kind enough to give us two of their gaming controller. One of these are the Panda version, the white color, and it's called the Omelet Gaming Switch Pro Plus joypad controller for the Nintendo Switch. The other version is this Glassy version. So this episode, we are going to give away the Glassy version to y'all. How do you do this? How do you win this for your Nintendo Switch system? All you have to do is like and subscribe to TricycleTV channel, and then take note on how many times during the review I mentioned Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller, and then also include a very creative comment on why we should give this to you. Okay, now let's unbox this and see what's inside. So basically, the only difference between these two is that the color. We have the Panda white and the transparent Glassy version. So let's go with the Panda white first. This would be the Panda white. Oh man, all its glory, look at that. And this is the Glassy version. Okay, so Omelet Gaming, in each of their boxes, come included with a little note. So here it says, what's an egg's favorite motivational phrase? Stay on the sunny side up. What do you call an egg who likes to go on safari? An explorer. Very humor, a lot of humor. Okay, what comes in the box is the controller itself, and then for the Panda version we have a white USB-C cable, and for the Glassy ones we have the blacks. So these cables are very special because it's a USB-A output to a 2 USB-C, because these controllers have USB-C on each, and you can charge them at the same time. Let's take these out. Oh, Glassy version. The box aside. Let's have a look at the look and feel comparison between these two. Apart from the colors, the white Panda, very clicky. Feels very plastic though. The Glassy version feels a little more premium because it doesn't feel as plastic. It is plastic, but it doesn't feel as much because I think the Panda version has a very matte feel to it, whereas the Glassy version, it's kind of exclusive. So let's look at the box. So the specifications for these controllers, okay, you get a 1-year warranty from Omelet Gaming, and the Switch Pro Plus joypad controller has all these functions. Before we go deep into the functions, this Joy-Cons, the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller reminds me of the Nixie Hyperion Joy-Cons. It looks exactly the same, except for the logo and branding in the middle. So as you can see, we have all the buttons, the trigger buttons. It feels very tactile, feels very ergonomic as well. There's also a remappable button at the back, and you have all these turbo buttons. Yeah, a lot of things we can explore together. They don't feel as heavy, but I guess when you pair this to the Nintendo Switch, it would feel a lot better because the original Joy-Con is very small and there's not much you can play with. But we'll get into that after we talk about the function of the controllers. The Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller is the exact same as the Joy-Con, which you can just take it out like that. It doesn't feel as smooth as the original Joy-Con. It doesn't feel as premium, although I did mention the Glassy version feels a bit exclusive because of the touch. It's the plastic glossy touch. Here we see the crystallized button. Before we talk about the function, apart from the Panda white and the Glassy version, there's also a jet black color and also a limited edition yellow and red mixture like this. That looks like exactly like the Pokemon version. So this function that we have for the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller, there's a lot of functions. There's remappable button, there's also RGB lighting, which I'll guide you through on how to turn the RGB lighting on. I guess like when you play games on your Nintendo Switch, it would feel a lot cooler to have RGB lightings. So let's see. From the box, there's a wireless mode for easy connectivity, the sense motion, programmable button, haptic feedback. Yeah, wake up mode, anti-friction. Let's see. These buttons right here, anti-friction. I like the controller because it's very easy to click, very easy to tap. So I guess when you're playing games, it's gonna feel more ergonomic as well because of the handling over here. You get to click on the back button like that. Also, I noticed there's the crystalline button, the X, Y, B, and A button. So you get to see all the colors coming out from the Joy-Con. So let's compare this Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller straight up against the original Nintendo Switch Joy-Con. The only gripe that I have with these Joy-Cons is that the usual Joy-Con drift means like when you're not even touching this, your player, when you're playing a game, you're not touching this, your character starts to move by itself. It's because it's drifting. And then all these third-party controllers like the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller comes about because, first of all, there's no more Joy-Con drift. And then second of all, the feeling of holding this is very different. It's very ergonomic in design. Both your hands, when you hold it like that, it's like a normal controller, right? But when you put it to your Nintendo Switch, it feels totally different. Wow, the feeling is very different. But I must say, when you connect the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller to the Nintendo system itself, it feels kind of wobbly. I think it's due to the fact that it's so wide spread out. The balance is a bit off. It's not as sturdy as the original Joy-Con is, but from feeling, the feeling of holding your Nintendo Switch feels very different because both your hands are holding it really, really nice. Everything the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con has, including the haptic feedback, the gyroscope, everything they have here, you also have it on the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller. The only difference is that the way you play games, the feeling is very different. It feels more wholesome. All right, let's switch on the Nintendo Switch together with the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller. Another big difference between the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller is that this one I have to show you because it has RGB lighting. Turn this on, see? There's RGB lighting. This is so cool. This is something that the Nintendo Joy-Con does not have. So crispy. Oh, feels so good. Okay, these lightings, you can also adjust it accordingly. So let's show you guys how you change the color of these RGB lightings. You have to press the turbo mode and the R3 button together. So once you press that, it's now breathing. Press it again, the lights are all off. Press it again, it's on. So there's so many things, so many ways you can use this. I prefer a lot of colors. Okay, what's the other one? I think the same goes with the one on the left side. You just press T turbo mode and the R3 button together to change colors. The vibration on this is pretty much solid. There's 4 levels which you can adjust. At the back here, there's a vibration button. You click on it once, you hear it. 4 levels. First level, second level, third, fourth, off. Okay, we've already set this thing up to the Nintendo Switch and let's play Metro Dread with the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller. First of all, the feeling is very nice. The buttons are very tactile. It feels very ergonomic as I mentioned earlier. And with the RGB lighting, it feels like I'm in another world. Wow. But I feel like the buttons, they feel a bit plastic. They feel very kind of noisy. So if you were to do this in a very quiet environment where maybe your parents are sleeping and you're playing this, it's kind of hard because you can hear all this. Okay, there's also a turbo mode on this Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller which you can set. For example, when we're playing Metroid Dread, when you press Y, you have to keep pressing it so that it will fire, right? And if you press it like that, it doesn't do anything. So there's a turbo button here whereby which you press T and Y one time, you press it and it keeps firing. And if you do it again, it auto fires without you even having to press. Wow, this is gonna make gameplay so much easier. You press it one more time, it turns off. As we mentioned earlier, the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller has RGB lighting. So how do you keep yourself to be not so much distracted by it? First of all, if you want to turn the lights down, there's a turbo button here. You just press 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It turns off. This is on the X, Y, and AB button. So if you want to have the decrease and increase the brightness of the lighting, you press the turbo button and then the joystick, you go down, you push it up, it's bright. Now, the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller, you can also use it like the normal Nintendo Joy-Con, which is, this is 1 player, 2 players, 3rd, 4th player, 5th player, and 6th player. But the only difference is that when you use it to play like that, it feels very weird because this is very symmetric. So you can actually feel like you're using it as a mini controller, right? But as of for the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller, it's kind of hard to actually imagine playing this like a mini controller because of the ergonomic design. It's not symmetrical. So yeah. And then of course, the difference between the Panda version and the Glassy version is that one very obvious note to show. The Panda version and the jet black version, and also the limited edition yellow version, the Pokemon version, there's a strip of RGB lights right here, whereas the Glassy ones does not. So you only have RGB lightings on the X, Y, A, B buttons. Now let's talk about the pricing of the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller. The Panda version goes for RM 229, whereas the Glassy version is 239 ringgit. So we're giving away the more expensive ones to you guys. And remember, when I first mentioned earlier in the video, how many times have I mentioned Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller? And you can just leave a comment with a creative comment why you need this with your Nintendo Switch system. Now, after reviewing the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller, my final thoughts to this is that, let's talk about the good. I love how it feels on hand. I love the RGB lighting colors. I love that you can customize. It's very customizable. You can remap certain functions like from the turbo settings. So you don't have to keep firing, keep pressing, but you can just press once and it keeps firing. And also the battery life of this Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller is very good. Like if you turn off all the RGB lighting, it goes up to 8 hours. And of course, the cables that comes together with the box, you get to charge both of these once at the same time. Now, the bad thing that I quite don't like about this controller is that the buttons look really good, but then when you click it, it's kind of loud. Like if you want to discreetly play games when your parents are around, you know, when your boyfriends or girlfriends are around, it's kind of hard because it's very noticeable. You can hear it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to your comments and also whether or not you get it right on how many times I mentioned Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller. And I also look forward to giving away the Glassy version of the Omelet Switch Pro Plus joypad controller to one of you out there. So that's all for today's review, and I hope you guys love the video, and if you find it helpful, do like and share and subscribe and follow, and also be sure to turn on the notification bell so that whenever there's new videos and crispy ones coming out, you guys are gonna get it first. So see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.